I've been trying to avoid politics, but there's something that I want to discuss. And I have to preface this by saying that I'm not speaking on behalf of my employer. I happen to work in a prison, but what I'm saying is positive, and I believe that the people, my employers, would agree with what I'm saying. I'm listening to radio and they're talking about, I'm not going to name names, but a particular political candidate who happens to have a position currently is talking about reducing the prison population. And he said that this person said we could reduce the prison population a third and not put anyone in danger. And I want to say, certainly society is in danger when dangerous criminals are released into the public. That's obvious. It goes without saying. And the fact that there is this so-called abolition movement trying to abolish prisons puts those of us on the street in danger. Certain people need to be in prison to protect the community at large. But there's someone else who was protected by being in prison, and those are the inmates. Prisons now are not what they used to be. That's the first thing. We have a much different approach in how prisons are, but the essential idea has always been the same. It's to make the people in the prison better. That's why it's called penitentiary, that the people in the prison should become penitent. We've tried different ways of doing that throughout history. In any event, I see it myself working in a prison, and I tell the men there that all the time, that there are men in the prison who are alive today because they're in prison. Prison saves lives. Not only the lives of the innocent, prison saves the lives of the guilty. Prison saves the lives of the offenders. Prison saves the lives of the inmates. Prison saves the lives of the prisoners. And they know themselves how many of their old friends from out on the street are no longer walking upon the face of the earth because of the types of lives that they've lived. And so therefore, we have to stop this nonsense of, abolishing prisons and thinking that somehow that is being compassionate to the prisoner, because it isn't. Prison is compassionate. It saves lives. We have programs, all kinds of things to help men who are incarcerated get out of there better than they got in there if they are leaving. Most of them are. So we provide a service not only to society at large, to the innocent, who are obviously the more important people that we have to protect, but we are providing a service to the incarcerated. We're giving them the opportunity to better themselves and to get out of there better than they got in there. And people have to wake up and realize that this is what prison is for. It serves a purpose. We're not just locking people in cages. We're teaching people how to work. We're giving them jobs. We're giving them education. We're giving them treatment. I see these little signs around my neighborhood from the liberal people. They say, "Help and not handcuffs." But those handcuffs are the help. They're getting drug treatment. They're getting alcohol treatment. They're getting whatever else. They're getting counseling, grief counseling. We recognize their trauma, that they themselves were victims before they victimized someone else, and to put an end to the cycle of victimhood. And so we're not doing anybody a favor by shutting down the prisons. Most of all, we are not doing the prisoners a favor by shutting down the prisons. The prisons are the centers of helping, receiving treatment, so that these men get out better than they got in. And I'm sorry if I'm saying something wrong and stepping out of bounds, because I know I'm not supposed to be talking about work on social media. But prison is a very good place. It is not bad the way that people in this so-called abolitionist movement believe it is. It is a way of rehabilitating people. It is a department of corrections, not a department of punishments. And that is genuinely what we accomplish. Yes, there is an aspect of punitive aspect, but the purpose of that punitive aspect is also loving. We're not to mistreat people, we're not to abuse people, and sometimes that happens, but it is much more rare today than it was in the past, and it was never all that common that people think. And I'm not saying propaganda, I'm saying from my experience, working many different prisons, visiting many different prisons, myself having been incarcerated under a misdemeanor for a night. And that helped me. That experience, as painful as it was, and as traumatic as it was, it helped me to be a better citizen, even though it was really just a speeding ticket. But also, the truth of the matter is that it gave me the opportunity to have empathy. Being a person who is serving the community in this way, working in a prison. I have that empathy because of my own experience of being incarcerated, albeit less than 24 hours, very briefly, but nonetheless, it's something. So it's worthwhile to understand this and to let the world know how foolish it is. This idea that it has to be some kind of a goal to get people out of prison, to reduce the prison populations. No. Prisons save lives. We got to make society better so they don't have to go to prison. That's what we have to do. And help the people who are in there to get out, not just willy-nilly, but to get them out because they've earned their way out. That's the reason why there's the parole system and so forth. It's all designed to help the incarcerated. And there is a tremendous amount of compassion in the correctional system, and we have to stop this bad mouthing of the correctional system. Thank you for watching. God bless. Please like, share, and subscribe, comment, and we'll see you.